Okay, this video was not planned. It's honestly a bit of a surprise. I was watching ESPN yesterday when the thought being that Antonio Brown would be suspended for week 1. And then John Gruden came out and said, "No, we're playing Antonio Brown." And then earlier today, Antonio Brown being mad that he got fined again for behavior that you get fined for, and it voiding his guarantees because obviously he didn't earn his guarantees. I mean, you got language in your contract if you don't fulfill the clauses to get the guarantees. You can't be pissed when you don't get them. So he demanded his release, and he got released from the Oakland Raiders earlier today. And if you look at what his salary was going to be, 15 million, 17 million, 17.8 million, we're going to be looking at what teams could possibly want to take him on. Talent-wise, there would be a lot of people. Money-wise, for a player in his 9th or 10th year, not really. And cap-wise, there is limited people because you got to figure out he's going to take up with the guarantees he wants and bonuses. He's going to take up at least 14, 50 million cap, unless it's an organization where he's going to seriously compete for a ring and he takes a lesser deal. But Antonio Brown's not the kind of player to take a lesser deal. Let's go through the whole goddamn NFL. Look at the Bears. They could really use a star wide receiver, but bringing in that toxic environment with a mediocre quarterback with Mitch Trubisky would be toxic as hell. So I don't think they would be interested at all. We can take away the Bears. Bengals, they have the cap room. Their defense is so bad. Maybe Antonio Brown is petty and goes to the Bengals just to pair up with AJ Green when he gets healthy and get revenge on the Steelers, or at least try to, because Andy Dalton's one of the better quarterbacks. But again, I don't think they wouldn't put up with his shit. Although they did put up with some shit from like Pac-Man Jones and Vontaze Perfect, but it's still risky. The Bills, they are possible. Okay defense, offense looking solid with Singletary and Josh Allen at quarterback. Could they use Brown? But the issue here is his personality. You don't want it being infectious, especially to a younger player. So you probably want a team with a more veteran quarterback. So that instantly takes out the Browns and the Bucks because they don't have the cap room. Cardinals, ooh, that would be interesting to see David Johnson and him pair up. The Chargers, Phillip Rivers could be an influence on him, so that's a possibility. Chiefs, that would be that wouldn't be fair. Interesting to see him in a Dolphins uniform. I think honestly at this point there's only realistically two to four organizations that would take a chance of signing him, and it's not for the money he wants. You got the San Francisco 49ers, who could use a weapon like Antonio Brown for Jimmy Garoppolo, and Shanahan, I think, could do realistically well. John Lynch is, to me, a player's GM, so he could, I don't know if he can do better than what Mayock did, but the money could be there, and it's something that could propel San Fran to maybe a wild card berth. Jaguars are another team that could definitely use them, just because they don't have that punch weapon at wide receiver. I'm not sure how him and Jalen Ramsey would mix, though. I'd say Lions, but they're not really a contender. Packers, Rodgers wouldn't put up with this shit. Patriots, they'd have to smack him around a little bit, and I'm not sure he'd like that, so I wouldn't say that. Yeah, possibly the Ravens, again, motivated by the Steelers' revenge, and they've had troubled players before, like Ray Lewis, who they turned around, and he became an amazing person, an amazing player. Almost ideally what you want. They could possibly use him, although I don't think like I said, they wouldn't expose a younger quarterback to something like that. Seahawks, maybe. Russell Wilson, he's such a friendly player. That could realistically be somewhere he goes. Not sure if he'd get the money he wants, but it definitely could be somewhere he goes. If he took less money, I'd like to say the Titans, because Mike Vrabel, I like what he can do as a coach. I think he could wrangle him in, although that's very unlikely. So I guess the 4 you could say, Titans, which would be still very unlikely. Seahawks, which I could see him going to the Seahawks. The Jaguars, and the 49ers. Those are my 4 teams that might be interested in Antonio Brown, but then again, after what he pulled in Oakland, his NFL career might be over. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about Antonio Brown being released, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.